Okay, let's talk about intellectual virtue. Here you can see that there will be some fill in the blank, multiple choice matching, true, false. For this part right here, I did give you a copy of the lesson. The lesson is not in the soft talk module format. In that format, it's more like working through a PowerPoint with slides. Unfortunately, soft talk does not offer a beautiful layout when you print a soft talk lesson, but you do have it available to you. I posted it below the link to this document, but you want to focus on what I say when first introducing you. There's a page where I give you a definition for intellectual virtue. There's I believe on that there's a text box with that information in it, and also there's a diagram that says intellectual virtue, and then it points to 4 kinds of intellectual virtue. So make sure you pay attention to all of the information. And I shouldn't say page, but in that section of the lesson, and also the last section on the lesson where it talks about cultivating intellectual virtue. Very important to read through the various elements of cultivating intellectual virtue, what I say before that and what I say after that. I'll probably have mostly true false items based on that information in that lesson, and possibly some multiple choice. Here, this is, and of course, I'm not reading this well, actually, I said I was going to read it with you, right? So I didn't read this with you. So if you haven't read this already, you might want to pause the video and read this to see what I'm talking about. But I do realize right now that I said let's read through this together. Make sure you go ahead and read through this since I've already started these videos. Okay, so now I'll start reading through this with you. A clear, accurate, and precise understanding of information and insights provided in the written and video-based lectures on regulative epistemology and intellectual virtue. See study questions you should have answered by now, step 1 of Unit 2, Task 2. So by step 1, I'm referring to the study guide. So that's Task 2 of Unit 2. Remember, I posted it on the announcements page telling you that I changed the order of the task as they are presented in the syllabus version of the course schedule. I basically flipped the syllabus version of the course schedule for Unit 2. I flipped task 1 and 2. So do make sure that you have used the study guide, that you've answered all the questions and the prompts. These items will include fill in the blank, multiple choice, matching, true, false. I will let you know right now that the one fill in the blank item for sure is going to have to do with the definition for intellectual virtue that I gave you in the lecture videos during Unit 2. It will be a different definition than the definition I give you in the Unit 2 lecture for intellectual virtue will be aligned with and fully consistent with, and actually arises from, the definition that I give you for intellectual virtue in the Unit 1, Task 2 Soft Talk module. But the one that I want you to remember throughout the semester is presented here, and that's going to be the one that is filling the blank. There will be some missing words from the definition for intellectual virtue that I give you. And knowing the new definition, or the condensed definition that I give you for intellectual virtue, is something that I tell you should know on the study guide. So make sure that you have worked through the study guide. Remember, I say there's always a logic, there's pedagogical reasons, intellectual reasons why I lay things out in a certain way. So if you did follow the sequence of tasks given, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. So as you know, there are like 6 or 7 steps for task 2 of Unit 2. And step 1 is downloading the document, and then there's a number of videos and a written lecture. So in the study guide, of course, I break it down in terms of the steps. So I have step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, study guide, questions, and prompts. Here I should have really put prompts. And so what I'll do is I'm going to select 1 to 3 items, 1 or 2 items from each of those steps to have on the test.